Habang gigil sila sa brut-brut pow, eto chill lang nakapisay. Habang gigil sila sa brut-brut pow, eto chill lang nakapisay.
What up, loved ones? What it do? Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're into real shit only, watch this video. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got the big homie, big bro, Sifu Singhey right here and shit, man. You know what I mean? We go way, way back and shit, man. You know, so this is like a part 2 video. You know, he's here to spit game. We're back up. We're back up on it again right here on the YouTube yard and shit, man. Spit some real shit from the real OGs that been there, done that. Here we go. Hey, Singhey, to those who don't know, let them know a little something about you and shit, man.
First of all, man, it's an honor, man, to be with my boy Body Young again. Youngster, from the J. You know what I'm saying? We do go back. We go back, man. We've been through a whole bunch. They call me Singhey D. Everybody knows me on the streets as Damien. From Fresno, California. I'm known as a Laos boy, first generation. Me and Bada Young have a history. We did time together, did about 23 years in the pen. My first bid, 16 years. Second bid, my first bid, 2 years. Second bid, 16 years. And then the last one was like 5 and some change.
Hey, that's a lot. Hey, but let's go back to the mindset first as a youngster, you know, because right now, both of us, we're different now, right? But as a youngster, as a gang member, what made you wanted to join and hang out with the gang members and join the gang in the first place, and as a little kid? What was so appealing about it that made you made that decision to hang out with the gangsters and gang members?
It's weird because there was really like a decision like that was never made. Like gangs was always around me. Like I grew up, like I was born in Fresno, California, and when I was young, between the ages of like 6 and 10, I lived in in Los Angeles for a little while, and I was on Hoover Street, and everybody was like Hoover Crips. That's when it originated. I mean, that's where the times where all of that originated was around that time, and that was like in the mid to late 70s, early 80s. And so like I just grew up around gangs, so it was never a choice. It was just kind of like normal to be around that type of environment. When I moved back to Fresno had pockets, but it wasn't so much like Los Angeles. So, you know, I had a kind of a normal little youth for a second. I was a skateboarder, you know, but like that was the time where Norteños began to popularize the place. And then it was like a few years prior to the emergence of the Bulldog gangs. So Fresno, California started getting filled with that, 627 Crips. And then the Asian population, so the Southeast Asian, the Lao, Khmer, Vietnamese, they all came around the same time as in my era, because we're all born around 1974. So during that time, that mass influx of Southeast Asian people, I was part of that because we all grew up in that same environment, you know what I mean? And just bonding together in crazy environment created gangs in that time. It wasn't necessarily like, oh man, I want to be a Crip, or I want to be a Blood, or I want to bang. Never like that. It was just kind of like a response to the environment.
Kind of like a way of life and stuff, right?
It was like how we had to adapt.
Man,
because like, you know, you get in a fight with somebody and he's already affiliated, you know, you're not fighting him, you're fighting everybody he's affiliated with. So if you best this dude which happened. This scenario I'm talking about happened. Bested a dude in a fight. Then the dude, it wasn't even really a big fight. It wasn't even a big fight. But the dude went back and he got like his whole family. His whole family was part of a hood. They came in trucks, they came deep. It taught me a lesson. You know what I mean? It taught me a lesson that you gotta have your troops with you too, because people are fighting with troops. They're not fighting as individuals. And that's just how it started going. So, you know what I mean? It's like you either roll on or you get rolled on. And so, you know, I'm trying to win. So that's what we had to do to win. You know what I mean?
Damn, saying hey, because you're like on a whole different level of OG because you already been banging since what 80s during that time before Snitch
Well, I
Nine before
start really banging like yeah, like the 90s. The early 90s, yeah.
when
Like
when when
94.
when it was more real, you know, when there was still some type of a G code on the streets, you know, when
Oh, most
snitching was not
definitely.
cool, you know. You were banging during that time, right? Before they made
Right,
snitching, right? You know, I
right.
I, I feel you. I feel you because you know us being cellies together in prison and being
Yeah.
through
That's
together,
what's
outnumbered.
up.
You know, we know each other very good. So
Yes, sir.
let's move forward. On your
Okay.
first term, you said you only did 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first term, I did not even 2 years. It was like 16, 14 months, 16 months, something like that, in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. And that was just like
So
pretty quick.
yeah,
How was your? Yeah.
I left Fresno in 1994. Me and two of my homies, we moved up there to get away from the gang task force. Really, during that time, it was like a serious gang warfare kicking off and stuff, and people were playing tag with the houses. Um, and so to protect our families and stuff like that, we decided to go ahead and relocate because we were in the middle of like serious warfare. When I moved up there, I started doing real good. And like around that time, I got a job at Bank of America. Long story short, I had an individual in my car, man, that had some work on him. He had some shabu. The dude had the dude had some shabu, right? And he
Yeah.
was supposed to be just doing a little trade for some demo, right? And and what ended up happening was this doofus had like he brought his whole stash, didn't tell nobody. It was all individually baggaged and whatnot, and so it led to him dropping it on me. He dropped it
Oh,
on me. I didn't say nothing when I found out because it was like, you know, it was my car. So I ended up taking the beef and I ended up going down. So I fought it because I didn't want to lose my job at Bank of America at the time. I was doing good. I was on the rise. Man, that was the first one, man. Once they get that first thing in on you, man, it's really easy to get stung a couple more times. It's unfortunate as it is. I don't know what it is. It's a taint or something, but it just seems like you know you get stung once, man. It's really hard, man, to not get
it,
stung anymore.
you basically we get divergenized in the system and stuff, right?
It's easy
Yeah.
to come back. Easy to come
Yeah,
back.
so that you know that little experience passed, and then you got out the way. What happened on your other second term, the 16 years one, right? What was it? Was it a 16 years one?
Yeah, 16 years. It was for well, it was 4 counts of attempted murder with a semi-automatic weapon.
Oh,
That was reduced to a single account of assault with a firearm, uh,
and
assault with a semi-automatic single account with gang enhancements and gun enhancements. I signed a deal
they
for 20 years.
hit you with all the gang enhancement,
Yeah,
California
yeah,
law,
it
additional
was
10
it was this.
years for being a Fresno loud boy gang member, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I heard like even for that situation to have been what it was, that I actually got a really messed up deal, man. They did me dirty. And then I ended up getting like 4 years reduced later by a friend of mine in the system. He was an attorney, and he got 4 years knocked off. But we were in the game in there, so I lost all my good times. So I did 16 flat.
And during your second term is when I had the honor to finally meeting you in Oakland.
We had the honor of meeting each other.
That's right, La Palma first, right? Was it Arizona, La Palma first when we first met each
Yeah,
other?
La Palma. Yeah.
And I just remember this was back in was this 2011 or 2012, something like that, right?
Right.
I forgot. But even then, it just feels like it was just yesterday. The way I remember my time with you, even though it was just a short period of time. I remember us when we first met in La Palma, Arizona. We're hanging out in the day room, and you just came to me and you just told me like, "Hey, buddy, with your big ass muscles popping out, you know what I mean? All naked."
If you don't quit
Yeah.
it.
Man, I just feel like straight lion compared to these sheeps right here. Yeah. And you're talking about other ex-convicts, talking about convicts, you're talking about gang members, gangsters that are locked up with us. But during this time, that's how confident you are with your fighting skills, with your heart, the heart of a lion and everything, that you're just like, damn, buddy, look at this fucking sheep right here, man. I feel like I'm just walking around the street.
Damn, that's a trip.
And that's not much
And
of
I
a
know you're not even lying. That's crazy to hear. But you had to be on point like that in there like that. You have to be on point like that, especially for us because we were short. So it's like 10 men for the one man,
Yes, sir. It was our mindset, because we were a do or die type of mindset. Like what you said, we're outnumbered, we're short, one
Yeah.
versus 10 from any other car. So we had to adapt to this warrior mindset that I love, and also adapted and learned everything from you. You introduced me to the Book of Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi. I read it religiously and believed in it religiously. I studied about the way of the warrior and the warrior code.
Yeah.
So
That's what's
yeah,
up.
man, I appreciate it, man. So we went to La Palma, and then you ended up leaving me first and ended up going to Oklahoma first, right?
Right.
And then a few months later, I ended up going to Oklahoma too instead of
Yeah,
us.
then you popped up that. I remember when you came to La Palma. That was tight. That was tight, man. I knew we was gonna get along because like me and YB. YB was he in my cell yet? Because I
Yeah,
remember I got him in my cell, but
yeah.
I'm not sure if he was in my. I think he was.
Where's he from again? I forgot.
YB OT.
OT, Oriental Troops. For
Yeah,
sure.
him and the other homie was in there when you came in the pod. We were still in the reception pod in La Palma. I think that was Z pod or D pod or something like that. Oh, Zuma.
Yeah.
We're in Zumi building.
Oh,
Zumi
okay.
D. Yeah. So when you came in, it was at nighttime. And you came up the tier and you were walking by, and I was like, I seen the LA on your head. So I wasn't sure. You know how it is. Like we had
SA.
yeah, I wasn't sure if you were one of ours, you know what I'm saying? So I was like,
One of those fucking weird ass Asians running with the fucking Southsider and
it
shit.
could have been anything. Could have been anything. No. We don't judge. We don't judge, buddy. You know what I'm saying? If you got Asian people, they run who they run is what that's their business. But check it out. You ran with us though. So when you came by, right? I was like, hey, you a homie? You're looking at me. I'm like, hey, I'm Loud D, Loud homie. And you're like, oh, Asian? I'm like, yeah, Asian homie. He's like, yeah, I'm about it. I'm like, oh, what's up, about it? Yeah. And then you smashed over to the side, and then that's when we came out for showers, and you know how the roll call.
I thought you was a Kamai homie too and shit at first because you were speaking fluent, fluent. You know what I mean? Lao stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
was
thought that
speaking loud to the homies.
I thought he must want to be those dark Kamai homies. Shit, you know what I mean?
Hey, I look like it could be like about a couple of things. I could be East Indian.
Uh,
I could be, I could be a Punjabi.
but during that time, the energy doesn't lie, and the energy that you gave us and gave everybody was you was a real fucking warrior shit, bro. Like you were just a death before dishonor type of guy that basically appealed to everybody, and everybody knows about it. Everybody can feel it, and that's what made me attracted to you more. That's why we became best friends, man. So close, you know what I mean?
That's real.
In the first few hours or few days that we met right there in La Palma. Yeah, before we even
Oh,
went
I
to
know.
war in Oklahoma, right?
Right before that. No, that's real
Before
though.
that, yeah.
No, because in La Palma we had quite of a challenge too because we were super short. It was like 8 of us, and the pod was deep.
It
Remember that?
was. Yeah, it was so dangerous. They were so deep that if they were to attack first, we're going to get smashed on bad stuff,
And there was
man.
nothing established yet. So that's what made
Yeah,
those yards a situation like that more dangerous because there's nothing established in the gang of youngsters, and we just got taken off the land. So on the land, the California yard, there's law and order amongst us on that yard. There's a structure. There's structure. But when you get it, like they plucked us off and threw a gang of us in the middle of nowhere in a whole different state. It was like kind of like going like the Wild West or something. It was like no rules. So you're like, dang. So that's dangerous, dude. You already know.
I see what.
Ain't no rules, man.
But
It's
but we,
gonna
we we were happy. We were happy to be out of California, though,
man,
right?
we were ready anyways. We stayed ready. We trained every day. We woke up every day. We're on point. Yeah, we had our program tight. So yeah, and it was, but that's when we bonded though. That's when we bonded, man. And like the noise, dude, it was so much noise. Everybody was on some nonsense. We would have played chess and talked about the warrior way
For real, man. Every day, 24/7.
every
All
day,
we talked about was the way of the warrior, warrior
right?
code, man.
Hit the
You know,
gym, train combat, train our muscles, train our mind, play some chess, and contemplated a better way. Exactly.
that's right, that's right. So, bam, you left first. I believe you left first to Oklahoma, and then there's no telling where I was gonna go. And then luckily I was transpac and also ended up in Oklahoma. What do you call this? What pod where were we at again? I forgot. You remember in Oklahoma?
Yeah. F pod.
F pod. Okay. So
Yeah. Oh, but
in Oklahoma,
not that the pod. Well, when I first got to Oklahoma, I was in F pod. When we were in G block. we
oh yeah, G
we're
Block.
in
Yeah.
G block, GB.
How you feel about Oklahoma, about the yard, about everything?
Well, listen. So my temperament and stuff like that. Uh, none of us are. I'm in no position to judge other men. But I'll say this though. There's a situation when a group will get satisfied with making money. They have their money now, and it's cushion. It's all cushion. Everybody's got their jobs, especially when you got things like the horns coming and all that good stuff. Nobody really ever like the politics start getting looser, but the politics is what keeps the safety intact and keeps order intact because one, you can't show weakness in there. Every car has to follow, you don't have to, But if you don't, you're going to be perceived as weak heart if you don't follow the same structure as everybody else as far as how you discipline or your rules of engagement when it comes to other cars. So if a situation occurred, this is what we're talking about here, is a situation occurred where one of our folks got jumped on in the pod. And we didn't have no other homies in that pod. We were super short out there. And that's crazy. So a pod consists of like, how many is in a pod? Like 400, 500? I don't know. A lot. It's like some hundreds of folks in there. And there was only one Asian cell in that pod. So for those of you who've been in the pod, in the pen, you already know having one cell in a whole pod for the other races means you were at a very big disadvantage. And two other races jumped on our boy. We found out we're in another pod. So I brought it to the table like, hey, we got to get off. And because that's part of protocol. That's the first response. Like, this is not a negotiable situation. It was a 2-on-1 from another race. They jumped on our folks. It was a Lao homie. That falls right into my bracket, Laotian. So,
Yes,
which falls into all of our bracket because we're Asian.
The whole Asian Islander.
And Pacific Islander. Because we all, one move, we all got to move. So it don't matter if it's, but I had to be responsible for that because if one thing is that I go to another prison or I go back to California and I didn't handle that correctly, that's my honor, that's reputation, my reputation, and that's my ass, man. You know what I mean? So what the homie is talking about is when we brought that to the table, there was a lot of, well, everybody wanted to do shit a different way. They didn't want to follow the real protocol that we knew we were supposed to follow. It's like, you got to just get rid of everything. It don't matter who you owe or who they owe you. Don't matter if you got this or you got that or they or you in the middle of something. It's all null and void when the shit hits the fan. You gotta move ASAP. Bam. That's protocol. And so that's what we did. And then people ended up following suit, but they didn't want to.
And to add on to what you're saying, Singhey, just so people will have a good idea, the Oklahoma prison is like a level 2 or level 1 type of minimum security. And we're talking about Disneyland. We're talking about the cell being 2 or 3 times as bigger than the California cells. We're talking about everything is a joke. We're talking about Xbox in your cell. You know what I mean? We're talking about unlimited movies. We're talking about unlimited phone time, a cell phone.
Yeah.
We're talking about like 40, 50 channels, cable channels and shit, man. It's like people don't want to leave that spot. You know, if you were to do your time, they would rather do their time right there. They would rather do their time in Disneyland. So they don't want to, you know what I mean?
Real quick, Bonnie.
Oklahoma was Disneyland, bro. Everything was a joke. Even the police in there, they don't even wear protective gear, so they're just like regular civilians and shit, man. You know what I mean? So I guess that's how people just got so comfortable with all the comfort that Oklahoma prison had to offer during that time. That when you shot a kite to all the homies in the yard saying we have to bust a grape because of the California protocol G code, that we have to bust a grape when another race put hands on our people, which is not allowed, which is not against the code, they wasn't really going for it like that. How did you feel about that? About the homies thinking, hesitating, and don't really want to bust a grape, knowing that another race had beat up on a little Asian homie by himself. How did you feel about that one?
Well, here's the thing. So, because I want to be cautious about, because like I still got respect for all those homies. You know what I mean? Those are all still solid homies. Like nobody did anything wrong. It's just here's the thing. there's a measure of pride that you can take from, like, there are some people in that situation who felt like we made the wrong decision. So that is the reason why this is being like kind of like brought in this form. But I got nothing but love and respect for every homie that was there. And actually, regardless of who wanted to, like, I don't know what the other homies in the other yards were doing, you know, when we did our thing. I do know we did the right thing for ourselves and stuff. We made the right decision according to protocol. You know what I mean? Um,
By
I
the
think
way,
it's I think it's easy. Oh yeah, go ahead.
sorry. What do you call this? Just before I forget, we went through the right channel and right protocol and gave all the homie heads up, and then we decided as a car that we will wait a few yards, I think 2 or 3 yards, to give them a chance to take care and clean up their own to avoid unnecessary racial riot. However, I believe it was a few days that had passed by, a few yards, that the other car did not take care of business and handle their own, which forced us and led us to really bust a grade. Is this memory correct, Singhei?
Yeah, it's correct. But the thing is this though, honestly, that was already against protocol, really even just having
Yeah,
a discussion. There wasn't supposed to be no discussion or nothing. It's just
I know
supposed to
what
be like when two is 2 on 1 on a different race, it's immediate response. You talk later. When everybody goes to the shoe and whoever goes to the hospital, because this is how it goes down, and then they let out the shot callers or whoever to get out this to fact find what really happened. But honestly, like, yeah, in a humanitarian way, oh yeah, you know, that's the right, yeah, sure, we were trying not to, but they're not supposed to do that, honestly. So I mean, I'm just laying it down like how it's supposed to go. I know protocol, most of us know it. We all came off 180 yards. That's where you learn it. You know what I mean? And that was the right decision, was just to get off right off the rip, you know. Now see, we did say I was going to go with that decision because I did tell the homie, all right, we'll wait and let them go and talk back to the homies and stuff. But at the time, it's just like I just didn't trust it, man. I was just like, you know what? Because like this was a loud situation, it was a loud homie. And if I go somewhere, man, I'm telling you, we run a tight ship. So I'm gonna have to answer questions like, how come you didn't get? They know protocol, man. They know protocol back at home. We might have been in Oklahoma, but we're from California. And when I go back to California, man, I'm gonna have to answer questions about what the hell I did or didn't do and shit. So I was like, you know what? I don't know what these fools were talking about, but I'm getting off. I'm getting off and shit before we go upstairs. Like, that's it, dude. I already packed my shit last night. And so then, and then I told this dude, I told him, hey, dude, I'm getting off. You're like, I'm getting off too. I'm like, that's what's up. So then I told my celly, hey, I'm getting off, dude. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I'm getting off. That's it.
you know what, Singhei? This besides the fact that I love you, bro, as my brother, as my big bro and shit, man. Besides that fact, I know in my heart we came from the 180. This is protocol also. It doesn't matter.
Protocol, exactly.
Doesn't matter. Is it Disneyland? We're going by the Cali politics. And
Cali
also,
politics.
I'm not sure if I mentioned to you on the pod. I believe there was a few homies. There's a few homies with us. There was only two potters. It was just me and Fat Boy, half Salvadorian from the Bay Area. And then me and Fat Boy got into it when I went to it when I checked in with him in his cell. Right there in his cell. I was telling him to get ready, pack your shit. We about to bust a grape, and then he tried to. And we about to bust a grape at 10 a.m. It's gonna happen with or without you, buddy. You know what I mean? And then he tried to tell me, he tried to tell me that, hey, don't fucking jump for them. That's a loud thing. That's not a bad thing. And I checked them right there. Hey, dog. Fuck you mean it's a fucking allowed thing? This is a fucking the whole Asian Islander thing, dog. What the fuck are you talking about? I have to give him a quick reality check because he just got so comfortable in that place in that area, or he probably don't know because he never probably been hanging out with real OGs from Cali to tell him this is really how it goes. You know, we have to go by
Hey,
the
the truth too. The body car runs a very tight ship. So just like you know, like I said, like for me, but at the same time, you were thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like we know protocol. And we know that we know what questions are going to be coming to us. And it wasn't just a loud thing, it was a homie thing.
what's up?
And your car, when you get
Yes,
back to
sir.
California, they're gonna be asking questions like, hey, what's up?
And I'm glad you reminded me because this is exactly what I said, saying, hey, I said if you would have got beat up and got jumped by another race, saying hey would also bust a grape on your behalf because we're
Of
all in the
course,
same fucking car. I told him
of
the same
course.
exact shit, bro. I try to explain to him in a ABC logic, you know.
But the cool thing is, he did at the end of the day, he protected my head, man. He protected me because, like, hey, I ain't gonna lie. At the end of the day, I ended up on the ground. I had my jaw broke. My head got busted. Some dude kicked my whole jaw off. My whole jaw fell. You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of it because, like, we handled our business. And look, I'm still
So
here. Still here. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
Fat Boy did. He protected me. I seen the footage. So, but at the same time, there's a lot of homies that came from soft yards to they don't know nothing. And then when you run into that a lot out of state, you get a lot of dudes that really don't have no training. They don't understand. They come to that cushion place and they get confused. They think that's prison, but that's not prison. That was like
yeah,
freaking Camp Snoopy. It was really Camp Snoopy with the potential of violence here and there. But actually, those yards could potentially be more dangerous than yards
yeah.
at home because prior to us getting there, they had a riot that they couldn't stop. So in California, they never have a riot that they can't stop. They stopped that shit.
Ah,
They had a riot up there that they couldn't stop, and it was.
it's great.
You remember hearing about that?
Yeah, yeah. Where everybody
That
was
riot?
talking big ass, right?
And it
Yeah.
took like a whole day to stop, like a
I
whole
heard
24 hours.
people picking up the microwave, throwing it on people's faces.
Killing
I heard,
people. They found ways to break into food sales and drag them out and hang them. And
dang.
they were like the whoever won, they were running around figuring out ways to get into the sales to get the rest of them.
That,
That's
that was a big old riot. Not the mini riot that we did, but the big ass riot in
yeah.
Oklahoma.
But to explain just a little bit about that is because Oklahoma has a different structure. So their COs and their staff is just kind of like regular people coming in there pretending to be COs and stuff. And then in the prison system in California, it's not like that. They're super serious. There's M14s all over trained on you at all times. You will get shot. You will die. They if you don't if you are too hard for them to stop, they will come in there and they'll start killing you. So that's the difference. That's the difference. They'll come in and they'll just start killing folks.
It's the real,
and,
it's the real deal. You
and
know
people
what?
be dying.
But
Seriously.
when we knew already that where we're gone. You already packed your shit. I already packed my shit in advance.
Most
You
definitely.
know, I'm not. You know, what I mean, to keep it G, I was fucking scared shitless, man, because we were so outnumbered. You know,
But I can't tell because you were the first one to get off. You were the first one, dude.
yeah,
I'll never forget the image. I didn't even finish speaking though. I was speaking in Laos. How the hell you even know what I was saying? I'm like, DOD, DOD. I look and he's already He's just two-piecing this dude on the table. I'm like, dang, oh, shoot, he's fast. Because the one thing that you don't want to do, you don't want to be the dude who's not moving when everybody else is moving. You don't want to be him. So when you see somebody getting off, you sure better get to getting it.
Man, this seemed like it lasted a while too, right? Yeah.
That
So,
did last a while.
hey, so we already did our thing, You got a broken jaw, and I got a broken jaw too with a broken hand. We went to the hospital
Yeah,
together. We both
broken
got our
head too.
we both got our you got titanium steel plate too on your jaw?
Yeah,
Or
I got the
oh
plate.
yeah, yeah. Damn, we got called a remembrance from that
Yeah,
page. Yeah. So now
that's
so
a
now we're
trip,
walking
huh?
with titanium steel plate on our jaw right now.
And the same finger. I broke this knuckle and you broke this finger.
Man,
That shit
that's
was
crazy.
crazy. And then ended up in the medical shoe and didn't even know each other was in there. I remember I heard your last name. Uh, they were bringing you something down there. I heard Magno.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
said, I said Magno. I ran to the door. Pop, pop, pop. Body. Is that you? You're like, Singhey. I'm like, oh shit. That was a trip, man.
You know what else was funny also? Right there at the hospital, they got our mouth shut. So when we talk, yeah, Singhey, what you doing over there, Singhey?
Yeah, we had our jaws wired shut for
Our
about 2
jaws
months,
wired shut, man.
speaking through our teeth.
Yeah. That was weird as fuck.
Ah,
Yeah.
man, that's a trip.
But
I'll do it all over again too. I ain't tripping.
but so that was a pretty good valuable lesson experience that we shared together, during but there. And then we ended up separating ways after you ended up in Mississippi and then I ended up back to California. After that, you did a few more years and then got out. What happened to coming back again on
Ah,
on
that's good. That's good
yeah.
that you said this because this is probably gonna help a lot of people
Yes, sir.
now.
Yes, sir. I believe it will.
Because first of all, I just want to tell you that doing like some 23 years or something like that in prison is not cool, man. It's not the business. Yeah, we're sitting here, we're able to shoot the shit about it, but the truth of the matter is, man, it's a miracle that we survived it. It's a miracle that we made it home without catching life. Um,
You
there
almost
are
died.
better decisions.
Hey,
Yeah, so many
almost. You
times.
got 15 staplers in the back of your head,
Yes, most
right?
definitely that. Yeah, and so many other things. I mean, but the thing is this: uh, getting out for those individuals that are incarcerated and they're watching stuff like this because we have access, so we be watching. Man, learn this. Um, you to do something different. You can train in so many different ways to do something different, but if you don't actually practice a different way, it's highly unlikely that you're going to get a different result. Um, and so I trained, man. I trained in there in martial arts, but I also went to school while I was in prison. And I had all the top jobs in there, like administrative jobs. And I had a curriculum in my cell, even while I was in there doing prison things, what we do, making money and holding down the yard for the homies and doing the things that we have to do to survive in our military program that we have in there. But at the same time, none of that really kept me out, man. I mean, it built on me and it did enhance me. But what I didn't do was practice different behaviors that didn't have nothing to do with crime. I didn't practice not doing crime. So thinking you're gonna just always magically come up off of crime and keep that money and have a different lifestyle when you choose to, is highly unlikely that that's not going to happen, man. This odds are against you like that. Really, the best way to like be successful is just to stop fucking with crime. Period. Figure out what it is that you really want to do with yourself. Like cultivate your natural skills and talents. Involve yourself in different things because you might have natural skills and talents and things that you haven't explored yet, and create a plan for success and use all that hard gangster energy to defeat the real enemy. And the real enemy is ourselves. Your real enemy is you, and my real enemy is me. And there's nobody holding us back except for that person. Period. So when you learn how to beat that person, you can do fucking anything. Real talk.
Hey man, and well, you know what else? You know what makes what you're saying, you know what I mean, means everything. It's because you actually been there and experienced everything that you're talking about, not like just a Mr. Know-it-all actor and stuff. You know what I mean? This is the real deal, and it makes everything you said, every single word credible, bro. You know what I mean? Because this is it's just real life experience. The little kids, hopefully their OGs are saying the same thing. Because if they're not, their OGs is just on some bullshit playing with the game. They're not a real OG. In fact, let me holla at them OGs.
Real shit though, man. And I'm just only sharing this because,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like it could really save a lot of people a lot of time. And I think one of the worst things that ever happened to me was doing that 16 years and that first little bit and then coming back, man, and having to face my family and having to face even the homies that never got out. So there's still homies that need, like I just talked to Rick. I just talked to Rick yesterday. You know what I mean? He was there in that riot. He ain't never went home yet. He's still on his way home, still trying to get home. You know what I mean? And I went back, came back and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's like disrespect for those dudes that are still in there doing like 30-year bids and shit that's waiting for that day. So I'm telling you, man, not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting a lot of people when you just shortchange yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we all deserve to be great. We all deserve to be successful. You know what I'm saying? But you know, how are we gonna do it if we're just sitting around sabotaging ourselves and we're blaming the world outside of ourselves for our problems when the problem is ourselves though? That's the truth. And I'm gonna tell you, it's the truth, man. And you can just look into it. Just look into it, and then you come back and you tell us the truth. But I'm trying to tell you, if you really look at it, it's how we perceive the world and the responses that we make and the choices and the decisions that we stand on is what creates our reality. It creates what we get, the results. So if you're doing things and you're getting good results, positive results that's going to make you successful in the world, and you don't have to be worried about the police, or you don't have to worry about people robbing stuff from you and stealing things from you, or you're fronting stuff and all. You don't have to worry about those things. You're honestly trading your natural given talents and you're producing money from that. That's what's up, because nobody can take that from you, man. And even if they stole it, it's backed up by the federal government, man. They're gonna shoot it back.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, moving forward, saying, hey, moving forward,
Move forward.
man, you did your time. Your Zen and your Kung Fu is on a whole nother level that people,
Man.
regular folks, is gonna have a hard time achieving what you have achieved on your level. Right now, what have you been doing right now, right here in the real world, in the free world and stuff like that? What's keeping you busy right now?
Well, right before I got out, you know, I was going back to college and stuff. I was in community college. So it was real important for me, for my children. I wanted my children to go back to school. My kids wasn't really Because when you're young, you just kind of don't realize how powerful knowledge is. Man, knowledge is power. Man, it's the best food. Nothing tastes better than knowledge, because at the end of the day, knowledge can create anything you want, man. Because the know-how is, that's what it is. That's where everything you see came from. It came from a knowledge of doing it. So knowledge is power. It's creation. So that being the case, when I got out, man, I went straight to school. I was a straight A student coming out. And I'm very proud of that, because I was able to manage like prison life, reconstructing myself, learning a new way, working in there, and wrote a screenplay and start really identifying what my dream is. My dream was to become a filmmaker, a producer, a director, and a screenwriter. And now I'm happy to say I only have maybe like 8 months left in the University of Massachusetts. I'm a straight A student. I'm a producer at three different places. I work for NSN Sports Network, where I film live college games, and then I also work for Amherst Media, a nonprofit community television station, as a producer, and I also work for East Hampton Media in East Hampton, Massachusetts, as a producer as well, and CAMA. And I'm cultivating my skills, man. I'm doing a documentary right now for my advanced cinematography course on the attack on DEI. And I'm starting to learn how to not just be down for just the hood, but to be down for mankind, to be down for the human race, man, to like really start like connecting with the real narrative out there, to start thinking about how we can like really start making moves in this world and stuff. And I'm doing it, man, not because I need anything. I don't need nothing no more, because I've been in a situation where they stripped me from everything. They stripped everything from me. All I had was boxers and some flip-flops. You know the business. And I still found happiness. I woke up every day happy. I woke up every day singing. I woke up every day feeling healthy and feeling mentally strong. So if you got that, you don't need money. You don't need nothing. But I want some money so that I can make some moves. And I'm gonna do it off of my skills. I don't need crime no more. To me, I think crime is a cop-out. It's like I need extra help. I don't need no extra help, man. I got what it takes to get it. And so that was the big challenge that I said I was a warrior, but like the real war, you can trick yourself and you can fight easy battles and you think you did something, but a real warrior looks for that real battle. He looks for that one ultimate battle. And the ultimate battle for me was fighting my criminality. And ever since I defeated it that day in the cell, I got nothing but success right now. And it's just climbing. I'm not tooting like no horn. It's a lot of work I still have to do. Man, it's happening though, man. And I'm really proud of my push, because it's in alignment with God and karma, you know?
And this is deep, bro. This is very deep. Why? Because I'm a witness. I'm a living witness. I can attest that when me and you were in the hole for several months, meaning we don't own anything, no material, just our boxers and our breath that God gave us, right? We were on that level when we were still happy, laughing, joking, positive for the future. You know what I mean? We were on that. You know, we weren't even feeding for no this maybe we got some drugs or none of that. We were just on the net, just strong mentally, physically, emotionally, just the way of the word, just all around. You know what I mean? And
they was even trying to offer us. They're trying to offer us the horn. Remember, they were like, "Hey, you want to use this?" And we're like, "For what? We're good. We're pro. We're in here, man. We're working out, man."
Cultivating, that's like what you said, man. You were teaching me, you know what I mean, poking people's eyes and grabbing 45-degree death. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the weaknesses in the human anatomy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We were doing
Yeah.
thousands of roundhouse kicks. You were teaching me
Yep.
how to do spinning back kick, but at that time I had no idea how to do what you were doing.
And I know exactly what move you're talking about too. When I was teaching you how to break the neck off of the first punch and stuff, but I tell you how to block into like this and
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
45-degree angle twist to the chin and the head.
yeah.
And
It's
hyperextend the
man.
neck. Yeah.
So man, you know, you're not just talking like an actor. This is everything you said is real from real life experience, and you're doing it right now by action. And if I was a big businessman investor, or you know, I'm just a businessman, period, I would rather do business with you when I see you in your physical, you know, fitness, other than some unknown person that doesn't have your kind of fitness, you know. So it worked for me, and I believe it would work for all of us, you know, because right there right there you can't fake those, your muscles, your strength, your dedication, your energy. There is no way that that's not, nobody can even pay for that, to have that, saying hey. So a businessman would do business with you automatically, and everything you said is slowly but surely coming true. Yeah,
Ah man,
yeah.
I'm major humbled by your words, buddy. Seriously. Um, and I think to articulate what you're saying is like when an individual has a certain amount of discipline upon themselves to where they discipline their bodies, and they carry themselves in a certain way that you can tell they have a sense of integrity for themselves, and they carry a sense of internal pride. Um, that package is a package for success. And I totally believe in that as well. I would not say that I'm doing anything unordinary, but I am proud of the fact that I have been training my body, have been training my mind. And the results is progress. You know, I'm just getting a little bit better than the dude I was last time. Bam, a little bit better than the last Damien, right? And then what? A little bit better, right? And that's it, man. That's it. Just getting a little bit better, man.
Do you think the audience right now can guess your age? They probably won't believe it.
They said like 75, dog. It's old
Let's
ass fool.
just not put it out there. The people won't believe it. You know what I
65.
mean?
Watch, man. Don't even ask them that because they gonna hurt my feelings, dude. Watch, I bet you could be like, well, ain't the homie like pushing like 68?
Yeah.
He be straight to
But
the dogs.
and he was saying, "Hey, man, this is pretty great, man. As always, you're always dropping gems, you know, and the real ones, they always they know what we're talking about. They can relate. People that have been there, done that, and stuff like that. Would you like to add on anything more? Any other more message? Anything at all before we shake the spot?
uh yeah, two things. Uh so one is just like, hey, I'm not here like preaching or nothing like that. I just was sharing, man, because it's like one, it's a unique opportunity that even me and this guy, even out here in this in the real free world, we didn't even think it was gonna happen, man. Honestly, I am so surprised, man, to have made it out of Salinas Valley.
Damn.
Which 180 did you go to? About it?
Pelican
High
Bay.
Desert, right?
Yeah, sir. I've been to my high desert also,
High
but it was
Desert
a
and Pelican. Yeah. These, for those of you who don't know, man, this is like the worst, most dangerous, gang infested, gang ran prisons in California, man. And they're
probably in
no
the world.
joke.
Yeah.
It's no joke, man. And you got to do stuff, man. When you're in there, you got to do some things to survive. And you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. And it's really hard to get out of there. And we made it. We made it through some crazy stuff, man. Not only our lifestyle on the streets and the craziness that we have been through to survive gun battles and all of that type of thing. But to come in and make it out, so it is a blessing.
I think it's a
That
miracle.
it's a miracle, man. That me and him are out here, right here, being able to do this, man. It's just a beautiful thing. And so, what I would like to share is one: if you're in there, man, you can see the light, man. You can get out of there for one, because I've seen dudes do like they were condemned and they're out now. They're out here. There's like at least 8 people I know that had life, and they're all be successful and trained to defeat the criminal mindset. If you really want to be successful and stay out here, don't be naive, because I thought I could just do it by willpower alone. And I have a lot of willpower and it's worked for me in a lot of ways, but it just don't work like that for that. It takes practice, man. Real talk. And one last thing, man, just believe in yourself. We are all destined for greatness. We're all born for greatness, but you just gotta want it enough, man, to work hard for it. What else are you gonna do with your energy anyways? You can sit around stressing on stuff, sit around like trying to scandal your way through things, or you could just push forward, man, with the best you got and keep building on it. And with strength and intelligence and with a good heart and a good mind, make your dreams come true for your family. That's what I would like to see for myself. And man, it would be a beautiful thing to see it around me as well. Boom. That's it.
Yeah. By the way, before we check this part, I remember asking you, but you can tell the audience, what does this mean again?
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, so this is a representation of the grand ultimate, which is also kind of like loosely considered yin and yang, but really it's called the grand ultimate. This represents having power, yang energy. This is yin energy. This is mercy, uh, and the softer energies. This is the yin. Together like this means I'm half the power, but out of love and respect, I humble it. So it's a sign of respect, but it also shows that you have strength and you have mercy, all as one. The grand ultimate, the Wu Chi, the coming together of the both the universal forces, positive and negative forces, creating harmony. So,
And everybody, y'all know what's up, man. And with that being said, y'all know what time it is. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Real recognized radio, homeboy. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Out of here.
Peace. Whoa.